Well, it has always felt like the whole of England's autumn has been moving towards this. And even though Australia won't have the chance to record a Grand Slam, this 2016 tour for the Wallabies was also very much about building to a revenge mission for the summer. For England, the chance to remain unbeaten in 2016 and do it against the side that dumped them out of their World Cup. England led by Dylan Hartley, of course. Dan Cole, the subject of much attention this week, courtesy of Australian comment. Chris Robshaw went into the series without James Haskell alongside, and now Billy Vunipola sits out injured. Nathan Hughes gets a first start. Youngson Ford, a fixture at half-back. Farrell and Joseph tried and tested at centre, and with Elliot Daly suspended after his early send-off last week, Marlon Yard returns. Australia captained by Stephen Moore, who wins his 117th cap and becomes outright second to George Gregan in the Wallabies all-time cap list. And Lepeti Tamani at 8, Australia's emerging version of Billy Vunipola, restored to the run-on side. Will Genia has been taken back by his club Stade Francais, so Nick Phipps, partners World Cup hero on this ground, Bernard Foley. Sefa Naivalu, a start on one wing, Dane Haylett-Petty in cracking form on the other. England unchanged on the bench, so Ben Teo could play against the man who convinced him to move from League to Union, Israel Folau. Australia have the always flamboyant Quade Cooper waiting in reserve.
Well, Eddie Jones often refers to how many test matches are decided in the last 20 minutes, and if that's the case today, England could well have a marked advantage. If anything, their growing injury list emphasises their truly powerful strength in depth.
England looking to end a calendar year unblemished, and Australia looking to make sure they do not lose 4 times in that year to the old enemy. Words have been flying all week. The coaches playing shots that take you back a little bit to the Sir Clive and Eddie days, when for England's current boss the boot was on the other foot. It's Eddie Jones England now, with the country looking to make it 14 in a row. Something only ever done once before. That was under Sir Clive Woodward, during England's greatest era. All is beautifully set up. And it's a beautiful day as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the national anthems led by Urban Voices Collective.
victory, another at the centre of it all this autumn. Jaco Paper of South Africa took charge of the Dublin rematch between Ireland and the All Blacks.
Well, what a great opportunity it is today for Marland Yard. Against the explosive but inexperienced Sefa Naivalu, he must impose himself an attack and prepare to handle what is going to be a targeting of his defensive play from Australia, both under the high ball and kicking. As for Australia, well, in the June series, Nick Phipps had a nightmare against England. If Jones's team could dismantle his game again, it will impact upon Bernard Foley's ability to manipulate a magnificent attacking backline. Phipps, he's one of today's key figures.
We've got that end of term, almost cup final feel today. Australia's next test is in half a year. England have the Six Nations well before that. But how they want to go into the tournament, not just as Grand Slam champions, but still with a 100% winning record under Eddie Jones. That on the line again today, but this time in this old Mutual Wealth series against a team that is starting to really fire up again. This is set to be a test match in the fullest sense.
Do you have an idea? Which way?
Bernard Foley will get us underway. Of course, for him, very positive memories of this ground and his 28 points in the World Cup match. The wait is over. Early ball for Nathan Hughes. If he produces his Wasp form and has got in this place, he'll be in a good place.
Well handled there from England, a decent kick from Foley, Kurinjari on the chase. The Australian kick-off and chase game is brilliant. First box kick from Ben Young's had a really good autumn series. Off that left-hand side, he tends to use it to find touch. The other side, he tends to go a little bit longer, a little bit higher, and get the chase on.
Australia won the toss, they elected to kick off. Phipps. Tamani coming into the back row, just his sixth cap, but he's a powerful man. Captain Moore, as Australia looked to test England early on. Phipps goes in. Here's Tamani again. Foley. England's captain Hartley with a tackle, but the first penalty already.
And straight away Australia mixing and matching their game. Israel Folau, he wears 15, but just look where the fullback is. Start of this game. Phipps, flat as you like. Straight onto the gain line, doesn't get too far, but Australia, they will mix and match their players. And Folau, he's a match winner. Sometimes he fades out of games, and I think Cheika's men will want to get him in the match as much as possible.
Scored tries in the first and the third test in the summer. Israel Folau, as Lions fans will remember his introduction to Test rugby as well, with those two tries in the first test in that series in 2013. Now, Clive was talking about penalty count. Didn't want any more than 9 in the match. Well, there's one already for Australia. Bernard Foley, the man with the kick.
As you talked about those 28 points he scored in the World Cup here when he beat England almost on his own. Carter was the man of the tournament. Pocock was the best Australian player, but on that day, that was probably the individual performance of the World Cup. And when Australia get Foley on the front foot, he really does mastermind their game.
Well, front foot as an attacker, his kicking foot there, not up to it.
It's not still here at Twickenham, but there's no hurricane blowing, and he just faded there. The body opened up and he just pushed that one across the face, and that's a bad miss.
He does take his time as a kicker, but that did seem like he was pushing the minute to the limit. Anyway, here he is again. And Phipps to Foley once more for Lau. Those quick feet, such an athlete. Moore. Taken on by Hooper. In goes Makuvanapola, leading that England defensive line on that occasion. Now it's Rob Shaw having to get back. And Phipps. Foley takes on the stretch, but it's nice from Kurandrani out to Naivalu. 10.5 for the 100 metres. The Wallabies' new winger. Foley again. Once more, he was up there looking to take on the England defence. Seo. Kepu, his fellow prop, helping out there on the floor. Here's Reece Hodge, man who's come into the Wallaby side with such good effect. One of those players who sort of brings it all together in the back line. Folau with the Stardust. That's Simmons inside the England 22. It's an impressive start from the Wallabies, this, with ball in hand. Haylett Petty's off the wing. But England get in. Mike Brown. All-important intervention, and then off the outside of the boot from Ben Youngs. That's interesting. Jonathan Joseph couldn't quite take it. Haylett Petty's got a little bit of space. Advantage being played. Farrell goes back, and he's going to have to play this, and it's bobbling around, and Brown can't put it down, and Kurandrani can. Oh, that's a calamity for England. Joy for Australia. Kurandrani thinks he's got it.
Well, if he has, that's a try in each game. First time an Australian's done that since '84.
Try, no try, and then in particular if number 6 Gold was in front of the kick.
Okay, so you want to check.
So there is a check for offside as well.
Try or no try?
Yes.
On David Pocock. Kurandrani, yes, it would be a grand slam of tries for him. No grand slam for Australia, but in a try sense, one in every game on this tour.
Is Pocock in front? No, he's nowhere near.
Long way back. No problem with the offside. And I don't think there's an issue with the grounding.
What a calamitous piece of play from England. Farrell's being called. He's wanting that ball to break. It won't. Pocock's really quick there.
Did Pocock knock on there?
Well, it hits his left hand, and that might just save England. It comes off his left hand there.
There diving on the player on the ground.
Yes, as his hand in there knocking it on.
The referee's starting to think that, as you can hear. Peter Fitzgibbon is the television match official. Mike Brown kicks the air. No problem with the touchdown.
6 Gold, is that
Checking now, just checking now.
There's his, it hits his hand. Has it gone backwards or forwards? I think it goes off his hand yet again.
Just looking at the other angle again, Jaco. Just hold on.
Those massive muscles. There it hits it. I think that goes forward first. It goes back to Farrell, and then it's off that left hand again.
Jaco, I have a decision for you.
Yes, that's it.
Yes, knock on by 6 Gold.
Yes, agreed.
Scrum 5.
Yep.
2 grabs at it, and England are saved.
To go for the ball, I felt.
Horrendous play from England there. The ball comes through to Haylett Petty. It's a clever kick. And Farrell's composed, gets unlucky there. Pocock does everything he can do and chases through, and then Brown, he lifts his head like he's on a Sunday morning round of golf and he hasn't played for a couple of years. Ball pops up, hacks it once, misses it with the second time. Very lucky. Very lucky.
So strike the Grand Slam of tries for now for Kurandrani.
Fine.
First scrum. All week we've been waiting for this.
Right.
Eddie Jones.
Hold your weights, both of you.
Process again.
Hold your weights.
Here we go.
Eddie Jones says Australia can't scrum. Michael Checker says England, they're not so hot themselves. Now we'll find out. And Jacko Paper, the man in the middle. He's got to call it.
Fine. Sit.
That's come back on the Australian side. Phipps to Foley, and Reece Hodge takes it on the press ball. Phipps again, Foley once more. Haylett Petty off the wing, going wide. Naivalu, this will be a score. Oh, England don't look at the races here at the moment. Things are going badly wrong for the home side. But Australia have started really well. And Sefa Naivalu could simply walk in it.
Well, that is stunning rugby there. Australia's scrum has just shunted England off the ball. Humiliation for Dylan Hartley and the England pack there. You just cannot lose ball 5 metres out. It's off the knee of Hartley, straight to the Australian side. Poor technique, and then Australia's backs. You give them half a chance, they are going to score. Some lovely handling there. Naivalu so quick. The big miss pass. England, they were set up for a scrum on their putting. Cannot believe it's come out the other way. By hook or crook, that counts as one against the head, and England have had a horrible start to this game. They got desperately lucky a minute and a half ago. No luck now.
England had their chance to clear. Really didn't have to show his pace there at all. The damage was done. England's scrummage coach, Neil Hatley, desperately disappointed with that failure to strike, two hook from his captain. And Foley is immediately given the chance to atone for the miss. So it's all worked out for him. And for Australia at this stage, 7-0 the Wallabies lead.
It's a nightmare there for Neil Hatley watching that. The coordination there between Nine and his front row not right, and England pay the price.
Last week, England had to find a way down to 14 men virtually at the start of the match with the Elliot Daly sending off. Different kind of question being posed here. And Yard is sucked in there. Naivalu can show his pace now. Goes against George Ford. Phipps and Rob Simmons.
Leave it now.
Scott Seo. George Ford lost his boot in all of that. He's one sock out, but England have got more worries than footwear. Tamani. It's a good pickup in the end. Phipps getting plenty of front football here. Stephen Moore. Foley again. There's space for Hooper. Diving in
On the ball.
England get the relief
Side entry.
of the penalty.
Only one team in this at the moment. We know about David Pocock's ability at the breakdown. He's technically the best turnover man probably on the planet. But this decoy line, it's pure Australian genius. It's what they do so well, and just releases Hodge to create his man on the outside. Number 6, there he comes, holds his man, and there's your 2-on-1. And Naivalu, 10.500 metres, he's away from Yard. superb work. And then Hooper, one of the quickest forwards in world rugby, on the inside shoulder of the fly half. England rocked at the moment.
Captain tried to get them going. Finds clubmate Tom Wood. Youngs, Ford, dropped it.
Advantage. No, can't play on. Off your feet.
Well, they're nervous. Very nervous there. George Ford takes his eye off the ball. England, interestingly enough, they're dropping Ben Youngs back into the pocket from those lineouts. And I think George Ford is expecting, because of Young's positional play, the kick. Watch where Youngs is now. He's not in the normal position. He's a few metres deep. And I think the box kick's expected. And he's not thinking that ball's coming. It's just slipped out of his hands there. But it's error after error from England.
But whether he thinks it's coming or not...
Oh, he's got to take it, yeah. I just think it's symptomatic, Miles, of England just very ragged at the moment. Really knocked out of their stride.
Sit.
Michael Checker was saying if England get to Phipps, it's not Phipps' fault, it's the forwards' fault, but England getting nowhere near the Australian scrum half thus far. Here comes Folau and eats up the ground, the Twickenham turf with that long stride of his. And the Wallabies within 5 metres again. Phipps throws a dummy. Hughes with the tackle. Cruz driven backwards, and Australia, have they got another? What's the question?
Upstairs.
Go ahead, Jacko.
Yeah. I've blown the whistle, please. I have no clear grounding. Try, no try, please.
You want to check try or no try?
Yes, correct.
It's just all too easy for Australia. They're striding over the gain line. Kepu is the man who's close there, I think.
Yep, but the referee with the key question, yes or no, not any reason why I can't give the try. So it has to be proven here.
This is going to be the angle. If Australia have scored, this is the one that's going to show it. There's an English right leg, very close to the ball. You can see the ball up in the air there.
Ball is being held up at that point.
Oh, it's close to the ground, but it's still held up. Well, it's the question, Miles, but the question asked, I don't think you can award it.
Don't think it can be awarded on the evidence that we see there. It looks more held up than grounded, and maybe this might help. This is an interesting angle, this one.
It's George Cruz's leg, isn't it?
No, he's turned. Kepu is turned, so we're not going to see any more.
Jacko, have a decision?
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, it's inconclusive.
Inconclusive.
Attacking scrum 5.
Right. Inconclusive.
England out of jail again.
Hold your weight.
Another big scrum. England technically lost one against the head. The last scrum, it was collapsed, and from the collapsed scrum, Australia just waltzed 35 metres upfield. What have England got here?
Crouch. Bind.
Folau again, bang in the middle of the action in between Kurindrani and Foley.
No wonder he's eager. There's the drive from Australia. The referee will want it using now. Here comes Naivalu. Already scored one. Phipps. Simmons. Agonisingly close again, Australia here.
Release White.
From Courtney Laws there was vital. Nathan Hughes has a look towards the referee, but Australia denying the chance. If he was thinking about picking it up, Phipps pulls it out of there again. Tamani once more. Prepared here, the Wallabies, just to roll up their sleeves, show their muscle. Foley looks for something a little bit more subtle. Hartley tries to stop, Brown as well. They're screaming try.
I've got no clear view. I've got no clear view. Yep.
But the referee
I've got no view.
is not
You've got
convinced.
advantage offside, yeah. Fits here. It's obscured. I cannot see a clear grounding. Can you just have a quick look? I have advantage for offside.
Okay, so we're checking try or no try?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Well, he's had the coaches talking to him all week, Jacko Paper, and now the players screaming. Australia screaming yes. Hartley saying no, I've held him up. Kurindrani goes low. Joseph is there. Joseph is right there.
Penalty advantage for
Surely
offside.
that stopped him.
And it must have been after that when Australia started the shouting and the yelling, thinking they got it down, but looks like, again from the evidence, the ball has just been held up.
Some amazing defence on the try line from England. It does. Kurindrani goes. Joseph has done brilliantly. Got himself in a fantastic position there. And England, they're being torn to pieces,
Okay,
but their try line defence
Yeah, do I
brilliant.
have a decision?
Yes.
No clear grounding?
Yeah.
Go back for the penalty.
Penalty offside. No clear grounding. Penalty offside. Second, third defender.
TMO Peter Fitzgibbon has done a full shift already.
Offside.
It'll still be points surely for Australia with the penalty if Foley that close to the post.
Stephen
Just having
Moore,
a little think here.
well, Stephen Moore was looking towards the touchline, Miles. I think the fact that it was so close, he thought, "Oh, let's go away with 3 more points." It is all Australia at the moment. And it's, well, you can see there, the action areas show you 83% Australia, and they're about to go 10-0 up. We've had 3 scrums in the first 15 minutes, and every one has gone the way of Australia. That last scrum, they had England going backwards again. They've got the front foot at the moment, and England are really rocking at the moment.
We'll remember that Australia scored their record total at Twickenham in the World Cup. 33 points that day. Well, they're well on the way to a high score here. England somehow have got to manage a turnaround here. Otherwise, this game could be gone. And it's hardly started. Foley 4, 10-0. It is. James Haskell is on the gain line. James.
Penalty for Australia from number 10, Bernard Foley.
Haylett Petty on the restart.
Outside.
Tamani. England pressing again, but Yard is going to have to work hard here to get across. And through him goes Naivalu. Douglas. Up from Phipps. Mike Brown, and England have the ball. They also have the attention of Naivalu and Kurindrani.
He gets there quickly, doesn't he, that left winger, Naivalu.
Mako Vunipola.
You happy with that, James? There's the ball.
Youngs. Robshaw looking, sending Yard up to do exactly that. Nice deflection from Yard to the former captain. Dan Cole has to pick it up, finds fellow Leicester Tiger Ben Youngs, gets Tom Wood out the way. Yard has a bit of a crack, but not for long. 3 waiting advantage was being played though.
Fine play from Ben Youngs there. England needed to get themselves out of the box. They've been pinned in there too long. It's a superb box kick. We've been seeing kicks like this all autumn. Marlon Yard does really well. Tip of the fingers, beats Israel Folau. That's tremendous stuff from the right wing. And Robshaw, you see the way that he said to Yard, you go for it, I'll wait, I'll pick up the shrapnel. Smart play.
He managed it well. I think Yard was going to defer to the senior player, but Robshaw wanted the spring of Yard there. Taken by Courtney Lawes.
From on the side. Number 4.
England have a penalty.
Big option for England now. 10-0 down, take the points. It's the right option. Now Owen Farrell, he had a very rare off day with the boot last week against Argentina. Pressure is on, and normally he responds to the pressure. England, for once, they don't go fast to the front, they go to the tail. Laws does very well there, and England get the penalty.
Australia grasping attack.
Yes, he did have an off day by his own high standards, but still his points saw England home. And of course in Australia in the summer, he was 23 from 26. How England need 3 from Farrell here. Of course, in the first test in the summer, Australia were out of the blocks so quickly. England pulled that one back. And there's 3 points from Owen Farrell to just maybe start the recovery here at Twickenham at the start of December.
Well, it's been all Australia for the first 18 minutes or so, but 10 points to 3, that's no sort of margin at all. With an hour plus to go, England back in the game there. That is very well played from Ben Youngs, just doing the basics well. Good chase from Marlon Yard. We've seen Johnny May doing that all autumn. Well, when he's played, Yard does equally well.
Nathan Hughes. 2 caps this autumn off the bench. This is first start.
Outside.
Johnny May goes chasing, back on the left wing.
Bonus right.
England will put in after the knock-on. Good kick again. Gave May every chance.
Oh, just superb play from Ben Youngs. England are wobbly, they're not really confident in their game, so Youngs has just stripped the game back to basics. You get decent ball, you give your wingers a chance. So a month or so ago, Eddie Jones was comparing Ben Youngs' box kick into Fourie de Prier, and you're thinking, that's crazy, but he doesn't have the length of the South African, but the accuracy and the height, superb. He's given his wingers every chance, and it's just slowly eking England back into this game.
That's a square, shot out. Crouch!
Has a fine record against Australia, Ben Youngs. Who started in Sydney 6 years ago with that try when England narrowly won by a point, 21-20.
Stay on!
Hughes got the call from Youngs. Ford, Farrell. Well, it finds its way to Yard. Youngs again. It's behind Hughes. The ball went backwards. Ford. Laws look for the offload. Youngs there quickly. Ford again. Johnny May. It's not precise, the England passing, but they are moving forward for the first time in the match.
Release!
Vunipola. Farrell. Courtney Lawes doing well. Farrell again, on from Joseph to Brown. Tackle came in from Hooper and Hodge. That's what Nathan Hughes loves to do. Owen Farrell took a knock there. He's trying to get back into midfield. That's where it is now with Cruz. England ramping it up. Well, they were, until it didn't come back quickly enough.
Holding on. Sorry.
David Pocock on the bottom of the floor, isn't he always?
What are you going to bring it? Here's your mark.
Great start to the game for the illustrious Australian back row forward. Farrell is still a little bit wobbly. 2 big hits by Australia as England stretched it left to right. And Reece Hodge, well, that's safe.
Slice from Hodge. He's got a big boot, didn't quite use it there.
Nice carry from Courtney Lawes. Much lower body angle there. Man and ball, man and ball. Nothing wrong with the Australian defending, but they've got a chance to take Farrell out, and they do. And here's Nathan Hughes making his first barnstorming run of the afternoon. England need more of those.
Of course, Australia is so used to playing here. They seem to be a permanent fixture on this ground, the World Cup, as much as England, more than England, because it's all the way to the final.
And then they had Argentina not so long ago in Rugby Championship here, away game.
It's one defeat in the last 6 tests on this ground. Just one win in their last 6 versus England.
Through the middle, yes.
At the World Cup match. Phipps. Farrell seems to be fit. He's come charging up. It's fallen for Hooper, and he might take advantage here. Now, is that a little bit forward to Folau? Folau goes on. And Hooper arrives, and it's Hartley, and good hands from McElvoy, and George Ford is racing away. Needs the pace of Yard. Yard trying to get after this. Haylett Petty. Bit of shepherding from Hodge. It's only Yard, but Yard might be enough. No, he's not. Haylett Petty puts it down, carried over. Well, it's a good kick from Ford. It kept Yard interested, and it's got the crowd very interested as well.
What a tremendous test match. What a tremendous test match. You think Australia are through, and then the turnover, and it's a lovely dummy from George Ford. Kurindrani sells himself. Ford knows that the cover's good, and he says to Marlon Yard, off you go, mate. Oh, the ball taken over the back there from Haylett Petty. Almost lost it, Mike Brown style there. A nightmare moment for the right wing.
Oh, his heart would have been in his mouth there. He did very well to recover today, Haylett Petty. As Michael was saying, he's not doing much wrong now.
Well, when you saw that break from Michael Hooper, electric, you thought it's an Australia try. Now England have a position where they can level this game. 5th scrum of the match. What can England do with a 5-metre position?
Double impact. Double impact. There was double impact there. Too side. Stay to the left, please. Stay to the left, please.
So here we go. What an important scrum this is.
Wide on feet. Crouch. Bind. Set.
Free kick. Will England opt for another scrum?
No stability. What do you want? You got it?
That's what happened in the game against France. And Australia on this tour just
To the left.
driving a little bit early.
Going early to just try and get that extra bit of impetus. Important scrum, so Australia seeing if they can play Jacko paper, knowing that with a free kick there's no real damage. It's the same again.
Well, it's going nowhere at the moment. It is a solid platform. Hughes. Just great from Michael Hooper. That's how to shut the door. Youngs to Makuvudapolo. Out! Showed again in that breakaway just how good his hands are. Young sending them left and then going himself for the dummy.
It's off your foot. Play.
Tom Wood falls on
Leave
it.
it now.
And Young's back in position. Courtney Laws with the carry.
No clear release advantage.
It's going to be a penalty for England. There was Pocock all over it. Farrell, little chip for Yard. Haylett Petty's there again.
Certainly if that was the best free play there from Owen Farrell. But England putting some pressure on, and I'm sure Farrell will turn this into 3 points. There's no way Dylan Hartley is going to do anything here, surely, to take 3 points. England just muscling their way back into the match. And on the subject of muscle, what a tackle from Michael Hooper that was. Hooper has just been magnificent in this first 27 minutes. The break was one thing, and this tackle something else. Courtney Lawes first of all on the carry, and it's Hooper making that. Hooper involved, Pocock involved in that tackle. But this was something else. Lovely spin there from the Wash, and bang! That is great technique. None of this lifting it over the horizontal. Just an old-fashioned perfect tackle.
He's always played well against English, played well against everybody, of course, around the world, but this maybe has something to do with his English dad.
A man of Kent, isn't he?
Man of Saracens, Owen Farrell. And there's the 3 points that England worked so hard for.
Where were the England global scouts when he was playing for Manly in Sydney? English available once upon a time, that man Michael Hooper. Owen Farrell, all English, and 3 more points as England easing their way back into this game.
Again, it's Nathan Hughes dealing with the restart, and off he goes. Qualifying this autumn after the residency period, Johnny May wisely lets Halen Petty drop to the floor. Elliot Delhi got it wrong last week. Tamani.
Leave it, 7.
Stephen Moore. Foley. Karandrani really got his mojo back. For some reason he drifted off post-World Cup, but not on this tour. Phipps from the Polar having to be circumnavigated. Boot on it from Farrell, and Joseph after this! Jonathan Joseph! It's scrappy, but England will take it. And in the summer series, they would always find a score when it mattered, and they've done it there.
I got to say, Nick Phipps was so often the man who caused Australia to unravel in the summer. And whilst Capu's knocked that one on, but the scrum half once again, he's just ponderous and he's prevaricating and he's just set England up there. He gave his prop no chance there.
Conversion from Farrell, and England have the lead, and didn't seem like they were going to get it.
Oh, that's terrible though.
Until a few minutes ago.
It's terrible from the scrum half. He's got to make a decision, any decision. He just wanders backwards, sideways, says to Kepu, do something with it. The prop can't believe it's come his way. Look, Kepu's not expecting that. That's not his fault. He then compounds it with a ridiculous shovel of the ball, and Joseph, dreamily good on defence so far this November, shows his pace in attack.
Australia with some question marks about that score. Stephen Moore unhappy. Might well have started his unhappiness with Mako Vunipola just sort of loitering on the floor in an offside position. Phipps had to go round him, and it started the problems.
Just it's so indecisive from the 9, whereas England's number 9 is making decisions. It's just a complete mess. Farrell, he picked up from the fact that Jamie George booted a ball on in Australia and scored. This time he puts the stray boot on, and Jonathan Joseph is over. Awful, indecisive play from Australia.
Well, there's a knock-on from Kepu, it was immaterial. It was advantage England, big advantage. The Australian happiness relates to Vunipola.
No, please.
On the floor. The referee has to step in.
Number 3 pull up the strap. Shoulder down.
Against Dan Cole.
First out-and-out penalty in the scrum. It goes against Dan Cole. Michael Checker might well think, there you go, that's one for the PR battle for me. Questioned Cole, questioned the fact that he goes down quite often, questioned his body angle. Scott Seo testing his technique.
Said that Cole had been infringing since his career started. That's the line that really upset the England camp, and according to Eddie Jones, really brought them even tighter together this week. Also said that he'd been falling down, Dan Cole, in the scrum, and that's exactly what the referee thought there.
There's a few English Premiership coaches who have said pretty similar things about Dan Cole. Not the duration, but the technique, certainly.
Hold it.
Not to Richard Cockrell, though, who came to Dan Cole's stout defence this week.
You'd hope he would.
Falau. And Haylett Petty again, he's menacing off that wing, and Hodge is going. Australia do look threatening almost every time they have the ball, and they've had an awful lot of it in this first half. Seo. Referee wants a bit of a check on a challenge, but it's play on, and it's Tamani, with great strength there. George Ford did really well to hold on to him. There goes Rob Simmons.
There's the ball. Still advantage for 7 around the neck.
In goes Nick Phipps. It's still advantage. Lovely little roll around from Kepu. Here comes Falau, but he doesn't have the ball.
No. Forward there. Around the neck. 7.
Tom Ward, high tackle.
Well, penalised for a high tackle. I don't know how many missed tackles there are by England, but right now, Checker's men are just charging through England. And Foley should level this up. Very dangerous player, Hodge. Good tackling there from Marlon Yard. Australia playing with an advantage. There's Tom Wood with a high tackle around Pocock's neck. No doubt about that. It's not a tackle, it's a throw, isn't it?
Right arm was a bit high as well.
As I'm saying, it's grabbed him around the neck and he's thrown him.
Spins there upstairs already.
That miss from bang in front. Mystifying, really. But he's put it out the mind. And we are all square.
There's the England try again. Kepu and Phipps nowhere near the same wavelength. One of the worst dive passes you'll ever see from a prop forward. And then Foley, he's quick, but he doesn't have Joseph's pace and the Bath centering.
Tamani getting a lot of ball. Australia really feel he can be a point of difference.
Stop here.
Like England have felt with the injured Billy Vunipola. And Nathan Hughes too, and here he is. Ford, Yard, outside his foul. Yard's going himself here. Does back himself with his power. Mako Vunipola just pulled out of the pass, thought it was too risky. Joseph, the try scorer, Wood, Farrell, Cruz, that is Ford. Both the pass, I think, but definitely the knock on from Dylan Hartley.
Just asking too much there of George Cruz, not quite. Brodie Retallick or Sam Whitelock there. England working very hard to get their front 5 forwards playing with that level of skill. Too much pressure there. Nathan Hughes just starting to stretch his legs a little bit. Nice timing on the pass as well, because it takes Pocock out of the game, forcing the tackle from the Wallaby blindside.
Let's go. Here we go.
Just remind 3 forward to keep his bind in the original place he binds on.
Just hold your bind.
Nice and clean, brothers. Let's go.
So far we've had 7 scrums, and probably on a points basis you would say Australia definitely on top.
Crouch! Bind! Sit!
One of them was a killer for England because it led to a try directly, and there is Haylett Petty looking for another score. Little chip over the top. Johnny May tries to turn and does. Haylett Petty goes over the top of him.
Canarac is good.
Chris Robshaw did well to get back there. Man of the match last week. A really strong autumn. So too Courtney Laws on his return. Little shimmy to check hoop up from Youngs.
Well, it's good foundations from Australia. All the talk about their shambolic scrum, not proving the case at all. Good solid ball there for Phipps, and Haylett Petty does absolutely brilliant. We've seen Israel Folau standing in the first receiver position. They're getting their back 3 runners there. They're giving these big powerful men ball, and they're taking on England 1 out. Really smart play.
And it's so often a scramble from England. They are missing too many men first up, aren't they?
They have done all autumn.
There's more. Simmons. Foley. Kurandrani got in front of him. Phipps. Tackle from Dan Cole that time.
Tacklers out of here.
And the penalty.
Over here, in the way of the halfback. Tacklers.
And even though Foley has missed one
Tackler
in
in
front,
the way of the halfback, over here.
unbelievable for
sure.
him to miss 2 in front in the same match, and Eddie Jones will know it.
He got the penalty. He's in the way of 9, I know.
They're expecting here 16-13 at the very least at half-time.
Frankly, even if this kick goes over, there would be a spell at about 15 minutes where Eddie Jones probably would have said 16-13 to Australia half-time. I'll take that. I look at the 2 benches, and England look a little bit stronger, a bit more impact, and as Gustard shakes his head, but what England have,
so you can't get there, so
they have an ability to win
down.
games. They manage the games well. They're not scared of a tight situation. Got used to winning England, and that's the biggest thing Australia have got to beat today. This know-how and this deep confidence.
And the fact it's at the end of a long, hard year for Australia, but they couldn't ask for any more motivation than they've got today to keep them going.
Not playing with any tiredness in their limbs at all, are they, Australia? They've been outstanding in the first half.
I think Bondi can wait.
Is that time?
And delivered by Bernard Foley. And Australia do have the lead, but for a long period in that first half it seemed it will be a much bigger lead than that. It's a try apiece, and at half-time it's England 13, Australia 60. There's no taking anything for granted these days from England, never against Australia, of course, and especially with those World Cup memories so fresh. And especially too now on the back of the first half performance from the Wallabies. It's been a feisty week from Australia, and it's been a feisty, intelligent performance to go with it. forward for England, who trail by 3. Taken by Rob Simmons. Try scorer on this ground in the World Cup semi-final against Argentina. Tamani.
Away 3. Oh, yeah.
Hodge forced to switch, but he got the swerve on the kick. It's well fielded by Nathan Hughes. Dane Haylett-Petty proves once again that when he gets physical, he can live alongside even the toughest. And the flag is up from Ben Whitehouse, the assistant on this near side. Craig Joubert is the other assistant today.
Very talented player, Reece Hodge, but that was one hell of an ugly kick. Outside of the boot from that position. Does he mean to do that? I think he does. That's high-risk rugby, and it gives Nathan Hughes a chance to get going. But as you say, Haylett-Petty is a powerful, powerful defender.
It was a fade off the tee, wasn't it?
Confident young man. Australia's line-out has driven England a few times. It will worry Steve Borthwick. They're on top there.
Got them all going as well. But England get the turnover. And they're patient there, England.
Well, it was the bane of Australia's day in Dublin last Saturday night. Times they carried ball and in open play, and Ireland choked them with that brilliant technique of theirs. This time it's much tighter. You can see Courtney Lawes goes down, but he's up and he's driving and he's working really hard. Mako Vunipola doing a brilliant job there, and Australia very frustrated.
Let's go, come on, Scotty.
Scrum's fascinating so far. For all the hype before the game, Australia standing up really well.
Into the second row's feet again, but England get the advantage. Johnny May. It's missed by Ford, but the referee just lets it develop for a moment.
Scott Seo penalised.
Thanks.
Farrell with some urgency. England looking to impose themselves on the opposition at the start of this second half, something they didn't do at the start of the first.
Well, of course, the first scrum in the first half ended up one against the head, and it led to an Australia try. That one, England forced the penalty, which is what I'm certain Eddie Jones was after, and England get some territory. They used Lawes well at the back, don't they?
Now England look to get them all rolling.
Once.
Douglas is churned out.
Stay there, 3. Leave it. Okay, use it.
Youngs gets the call from the referee and goes. And Johnny May. England's attacking game not clicking at all. They've got the one try, and that was given to them, really. It's Nathan Hughes.
Release!
Youngs, Wood. George Ford, can he spark it? Then he looks for May, but Tamani was there. Youngs again. Could fly anywhere. Mike Brown's got it. There's an advantage here to England. They'll have a chance to level, but they're looking to go in front. It's caught over. Wasn't a penalty advantage. There's Mako Vunipola. Youngs. Cruz.
Number 1.
Ford going wide now with Joseph. Resorts to the kick, but it still might work. Marlon Yard! What a kick!
Let's see, try, no try.
Yeah, go, you want to check
From
try or no
Jonathan
try?
Joseph.
Correct.
Okay.
Eddie Jones says Marlon Yard is an up and down player. He's up at the moment, and he was on the end of this kick from Jonathan Joseph. Just checking the offside. Yard certainly first to get there.
I can't take a captain's referral. Sorry.
That's a try. It's the right hand of Marland Yard. It's not backwards from Folau, but the right hand of Yard. It's his try there. Australian hand knocks it back. Folau, or does it go off?
It's off Yard's left hand into his right.
Yeah, but it's the left hand of England now.
Just say that again, Fitzy.
Okay, so as you're watching it now, the left hand of the
knocked
England
it
player.
Yes, it touches
He
it.
has.
Yeah. Is his left hand is always attached to the ball, so I don't think he's knocked it on.
All right, so it's always attached to the ball.
Yes, his hand is always attached to the ball, and he grabs it with his right hand then. So you may award a try.
I may award the try. Thank you.
The timing was tight there for Yard, but it is an England score.
Well, an impressive autumn from Jonathan Joseph is now flourishing into something else. He's been the linchpin of England's defensive game. He's scored a try, opportunistic, yes, but now he's made one with a beautiful delay on the kick. And when you see this again, the weight on the kick when we see the replay is what forces Folau up, and it gives Yard the chance to get past the flying Australian fullback.
And Farrell's conversion is working its way back. And there it is. 2 more points, England 20, Australia 16. Sumptuous kick.
Just look how flat Folau is. Folau has to go up because Joseph is delaying the kick till the last moment, and it's a fine finish from Yard. Harlequin heaven.
Here's Yard again. Oh, needs to sort this out with Farrell. Farrell steps in. Side's always vulnerable when they've scored. Try scorers too. Up goes Tom Wood towards halfway, and Ben Youngs will be furious with that. He had support arriving. Yard, Brown, Ford.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Here's
Still
Phipps.
advantage for the knock.
Taken forward by Kane Douglas. Phipps again. That's lost forward. And advantage was caught over. So England will put into the scrum. Very alert there, Tom Wood.
That's a cracking pickup with the right hand. Didn't see much of that from Tom Wood at the end of his career. Jones has got him back in the England team now, and he's running through that gap. Maybe he just needed to put a little bit more elevation on the pass there. It's a very flat ball for Ben Youngs. He needs to just pop that tad more sympathy. It's fallen away from the Leicester 9.
Well, that wasn't distinctly average from Tom Wood, was it? Famously, that conversation that Tom Wood relayed after the World Cup, and Eddie Jones given him this opportunity, and Wood has taken it this autumn.
Use it!
Hughes to Youngs, he just took that one, and that was forward to Farrell. Referee thought about it. England get the puts in. But I'm not sure they should be in the Australian 22.
Is it forward? Ben Youngs taking the ball off Hughes. Yeah, it's a mile forward there. Now, England start warming up the bench. I'd agree with Will.
Here we go.
England really want to up the ante in the scrummaging. They have a very powerful looking bench, especially up front. You contrast it with the Australian one, and they just don't quite have the game changers that England have at the moment. You can look at this there. experienced players like Slipper and McMahon, yes, he'll carry for you. Cooper hasn't been the same player that he was 3 years ago. At the moment, Australia look like they're going to have to do it with the players out there on the pitch until their legs go. England, they can change the pace.
Had England gone on to score from that last move, you sense, had it not gone beyond 2 phases, it would have been checked, the pass.
Stay to the left
Now
and
it
go all
won't
the
be
way.
checked, but England still have the field position and might score here.
Always.
Now England
for a punch.
dominating territory, 90% in this half. They've got the 7 points to put themselves ahead, and what they've got is a team who know how to win, and they believe deep down that they will win. And when you get the lead and you're at home and there's 82,000 people willing you on, it becomes a potent combination.
Stay there. Perfect. Stay there.
Let's go, Colin. Seconds. Here we go, Dougie.
Amidst all of that, I think that was a smile from Stephen Moore.
Stay.
Bind.
He has seen it all before.
Set.
Ball in danger and go back towards Australia. England don't want to let that happen again, but Hughes is going off the base of that scrum and looking to use that power.
First players off their feet.
Counter right from Australia, but first ones to arrive off their feet. And Ben Youngs is going. Ben Youngs is going to score here. He's done it again against Australia. What a great piece of quick thinking from the England scrum half. Well, the build-up didn't hold back, and nor has the match itself.
Quite brilliant there from Ben Youngs. So often he's been the bane of Australia on his debut on man of the match games here. He's playing so well at the moment, he's so confident, he sees a gap and he goes quickly and he just turns it into a hole. Nathan Hughes, that's really good, he's holding off Hooper there. But when the penalty comes, the Leicester man, give me the ball, great dummy there, and he is gone. And the ball thrown into the crowd, as he so often does. Phipps buys that one, and Youngs milks the adulation of the Twickenham crowd. England suddenly are pulling away.
But I venture Australia are not done yet. Watching on the injured Billy Vunipola, and he would have admired that from Nathan Hughes. That was right out of his draw. Owen Farrell, of course it's 2 points.
Look, Clive, we've seen Matt Dawson scoring tries like that in your era. We've seen the box kicks when they were under pressure. Ben Youngs, just how much is he maturing as a scrum half now?
And here he is again. England down by 3 at half-time, not now. Aylett Petty, it's a very different atmosphere in the ground, of course.
Tackle!
Plenty of Wallaby supporters too, and they will find their voices here if Hodge holds on to that. But it's a knock-on, not quite happening there for Reece Hodge.
He's got a rake in stride, hasn't he, Hodge? He was almost away there. Very impressive young player. But Ben Youngs, there's the dummy ball in 2 hands. Nick Phipps. Oh dear, Marlon Yard is nowhere near it. Nick, he's gone. And poor old Kepu's coming over. There's nothing a tight head's going to do there.
Well, Yard absolutely bought it as well, didn't he? Lovely reaction as he saw Youngs go from the winger.
Well, if your own mates believe you're passing the ball, that means the opposition have absolutely no hope there. And again, it's Clive was saying there, the speed of thought from Ben Youngs and the positivity of this England team. You know, it's 11 points now, but it looked very tight. But England are just going for it. Played their way through a horrible 35 minutes or so, and now it's Australia having to hang on in there.
Poor engagement, goal one, stay up on engagement.
Right, stay up.
Will there ever be a world where we'll have stable scrums? I very much doubt it.
All the weights. Crouch.
Down.
Bind. Sit.
England taking it forward here.
Last thing square.
They got the penalty. It's another one-handed pick-up, this time from Hughes. Farrell, Brown. He straightens and goes.
Not help.
England back their fitness.
Leave it now.
And they fancy that to show.
Advantage is over for the
Even
scrum
at the
penalty.
highest level. Youngs, Ford, Johnny May. Still May. And England starting to cut Australia up as
Ball's out.
the Wallabies were cutting England up earlier in the match.
Ball was out.
Ford, Rob Shaw. Youngs
One is over for the
arrives,
scrum.
gives it to Ford, his yard, onto Mike Brown. He's got a lot to do from there. No advantage running now. It's George Cruz. Yards here to find Brown.
Let's just have a look at that.
Ford. Looking to unpick the lock here, Rob Shaw.
Advantage number 4 played the man
Youngs
without
finds
the
his
ball.
half-back partner again. He's going wide here. Tom Wood.
Yes.
Great retention from England. And Hughes carrying them forward.
Advantage.
Youngs to Ford, another advantage. Ford has a free shot at the drop goal. It will be the penalty.
Number 4 tackled without the ball.
The mood Dylan Hartley's team are in, I would imagine they're going to go to the corner and just try and finish Australia
Without
off.
the ball, number 4. Right.
You sure?
No, I'm not, but there was a feel at Twickenham that Australia were wobbling and on the ropes. England just saying, well, let's make it a 14-point gap.
Because 14 points, it starts to get significant then, doesn't it? And go one score out from there.
I would say, though, England at the moment have got Australia where they want them in everything, from the scrums through to the ball in the loose. Suddenly there's confidence where there was indecision in the first half. The passing now, George Ford, he was really iffy in the first 10 minutes. Now it's flowing beautifully through his hands.
At the end of the session yesterday, the England kickers were working with Johnny Wilkinson and Owen Farrell. Was hitting it superbly. Not really breaking news, is it? But it was reassuring for England supporters. It is such a reassuring sight, just as Johnny Wilkinson used to be. Owen Farrell is now, and England do lead by 14 as we approach the midway point of this second half. Australia bring on Tom Robertson.
Scott CO coming off. One of the stars of the World Cup, Scott CO. No one thought it, but the loose head had a tremendous time, but it's done all right today. But I think Australia just need fresh legs now, and Tom Robertson of the Waratahs has come on, and I think they're looking for something of a miracle at the moment.
Australia came back at Ireland last week. Of course, England have time on their side here.
They're onside, onside.
Chase from Yard, putting pressure on Folau.
It's all coming off Ben Youngs, you know. Ball goes into that corner and Youngs is taking full responsibility for this game. It certainly makes life so much easier for a fly half when you've got a 9 who is playing with such broad shoulders.
Even though they're not quite as broad. He was told just to lose a bit by Eddie Jones. He's incredibly fit. And Yard is bursting up the touchline after this. Again putting pressure on the Australian back three. He is fizzing at the moment, is Yard, and he's been given the perfect invitation every time from the boot, the nous of Youngs.
That is a wonderful kick from Ben Youngs. I compared him to Fourie du Preez earlier in the game. That is exactly the sort of kick Eddie Jones used to see Fourie du Preez come up with when he was skills coach for the box in 2007. This is an amazing performance this second half from the 9.
England changes now in the front row. Jamie George comes on for the captain at hooker, and Joe Marler for Mako Vunipola at loose head prop. See the strength of the England bench here. Marler used to be such a regular starter. Lost that position to Mako Vunipola at the moment, and Jamie George replacing Hartley. George, that kick through to win the series in the summer, that try in the third test as well. He's certainly contributed to the England cause in recent times, even though he's deputy to the captain.
All that.
Phipps just need to get this away, Australia. And Hodge does that. And watching in the studio, Johnny Wilkinson. Johnny, your thoughts?
Come. That's once. He went backward.
Here's Joseph looking to show some sharpness. He's certainly done that with the big player for England today, Jamie George. And it is all England now. Hughes. Youngs. Another dummy throw and a ball and nearly away, but good scramble that time from Stephen Moore. Michael Hooper. Australia will be saying, just get one score here to make England think and worry. But here's May. At the moment, all the worries are Wallaby ones.
Leave it out.
England have been tremendous in the first 20 of this half. Absolutely tremendous.
Youngs, Ford. Good pick up from Rob Shaw. Hooper on the wrong side has to be careful and is. Cruz only just returned to action last week, his first game back after injury. It's been stolen on the floor and knocked on as well. First one from England. And we'll go to the gain line and James. Off goes Kane Douglas. And Dean Mumm has come on to replace him, the former Exeter chief.
England have turned this game around sensationally in this second half. Marlon Yard with a predatory finish after a beautifully weighted and delayed kick by Joseph, and then Ben Youngs peaking in terms of his form. He started off against South Africa, dummying his way towards the line, making tries for Farrell, making tries for Ford. Now he's dummying his way and scoring them himself. I think it's been the best 20 minutes of rugby with the ball in hand we've seen from England under Eddie Jones. From the start of this half to now.
Hold to the back, hold.
Phipps. Folau. Another who does well, but Naivalu on that occasion less so.
Again, Folau just can't get outside Joseph, arch defender.
Marler. George.
Is over.
England being watchful, don't want to be reckless around about halfway and give away an interception and a freebie.
You're off. Through the middle.
Work from Marler, Stephen Moores after that, but Johnny May first to react. Enough to get in the thick of it as well as run away down the wing as Johnny May added that to his game. And the mark called for by Dane Haylett-Petty.
It's probably the first mediocre kick we've seen from Ben Youngs. First time that an Australian hasn't been under pressure or he hasn't found touch. That's not too good.
Ford. Just doing the simple thing there, but doing it very well.
George Ford got the ball there, had a quick look. He didn't have the numbers for the counter-attack, so he just thought territory. We're 14 points up. Let's force Australia to play from where they don't want to be playing, deep in their half. He does that very well. Lovely low control on that kick.
Well, Ben Youngs is coming off, and he's going to get some round of applause here. Danny Kerr, his replacement. The Leicester Tiger leaves. Down from Mum to Phipps. Foley. Loose again. Jonathan Joseph.
Fall back.
George Ford. Kerr, first touch, he's going for a drop goal. He's done it before in England colours, but it's a long way off that time. Naivalu. Now if he gets away, it's only really Johnny May who can catch him.
Kerr makes the tackle to absolve himself of the sins of that awful drop kick.
Good tackle.
Pocock dumped on the floor, don't often see that. Nathan Hughes has really grown into this match, hasn't he?
I'll tell you the other thing, England's tackling is a lot more aggressive and physical. James was talking about winning the gain line. England are coming harder now, there's more bite, there's more intensity to these tackles.
James also pointed out it was very fixable. England have done exactly that. Robertson. Kurandrani. Seems a long time since he had that try chalked off. A lot has happened since. Dean Munn wriggles, tries to get away, but Cole had him.
Tackle that got up.
It's Robertson again. Phipps. England trying to close down the space. Kurandrani. Kerr went in, thought there was a chance of a turnover. Johnny May comes up, that's more like Pocock. With a stranglehold here though from the England defence. Australia can't get out of their own half. More. Now they might with Folau. Folau, lovely step. Not help. Mike Brown tries to get back. Tom Wood too. Brown goes in. Phipps. Both sides will know this game can change in an instant. Hooper.
There's a lovely pass from Moore, wasn't it? Just shifting it one out.
Sympathy from the hooker. Here comes Kepu. Kepu on the charge. Kepu's gone.
Wow.
He had some making up to do, Big Kepu, after the first half score, but that is a terrific charge from the prop, and Australia, as we thought they would be, are back.
top-class athleticism from the prop forward. We expect it from the full-back. Joseph finally misses a tackle, and it's the devastating effect. You miss a tackle against a team like Australia, you're in trouble. Then there's Moore with a beautiful pass, just shifting the ball. England can't slow it down sufficiently, and Kepu just ups the pace. He's through Marler. Farrell can't get him with a tap tackle. That's a brilliant finish from the tight head prop. But Jonathan Joseph, England's arch defender, he misses Folau. 40 metres later, it's quick turnover ball for the Wallabies. Then it's a score.
Big kick coming here. There's only ever been one draw between these two nations. It was Clyde's first match in charge, 1997. Foley. Draw at the moment. Not really in the reckoning because of that missed kick.
Just look at this from Kepu. Marler, prop against prop, he's too quick for him, but I don't think Farrell expected quite the pace on that gallop. Left hand for the fend, you think Owen Farrell's got him, he goes for the ankle tap, but Kepu's just stepped out of it like a 2-mile hurdler.
England have brought on Kyle Sinclair and Ben Teo. Owen Farrell's gone. Johnny May. Terrific chase. Farrell won't be here to kick it.
Clearly under pressure, seeing the
Johnny May created it.
Brilliant kick-off as well. George Ford, bang on the money. It's something England haven't always been good at. And look at the leg drive there from Johnny May. Haylett Petty, he's a winger who's used to doing that. He's not used to having that done to him. The England winger just shovels him backwards, and when Johnny May gets up, there's a real fist-pumping moment because he knows he scored some cracking tries this autumn, but Australia having scored, that's just as important. And Stephen Larkham, he knows how much that could cost the Wallabies.
Might not be lost on England supporters that if this goes over, England will equal the score that Australia totalled here in the World Cup. England great, Jason Leonard. Has played such a major part in the World Cup final between these two all those years ago in 2003. Big settling influence then for that England side. Well, this will be a settling influence here from the boot of George Ford. Takes over from Farrell.
And he's got to start becoming a more reliable test goal kicker than he has been. He has the talent. Show the temperament.
And he's a mile off. So a miss from Foley on the conversion and a miss from Ford on the kick as Warren Gatland watches, considering his options. Tamana Harrison is coming on for England and for Australia. Henry Spate, Nick Frisby and Quade Cooper, so all three back replacements.
Just confirm that 6 wide is off.
Robshaw, so often England's 80-minute man. He's rested right at the end as England bring on fresh players, Australia too, to try and make the key differences here. Court of Law says thanks very much.
That's right.
Introduction of Teo, a strong one. Just his third cap, the former rugby league man. Ford, Joseph and Hughes. Hughes will fancy this rumble.
He's had a good debut.
It's his first start today after those 2 caps as a replacement. Ford, flat again, Laws, nicely done, Joseph, Marler, Yard. England searching for what could be the all-important next score here.
They play with undiluted confidence. They concede a try, but they're straight on the offence.
Jamie George. Michael Hooper's there again. Michael Hooper's everywhere, isn't he?
Just leave it.
Mind you, he's needed to be in defence in this second half, such has been the incessant nature of England's attacks. Total contrast to the first period. Laws again. Kerr. Ford. Jamie George carries forward. Once more, warning comes from the referee. Danny Kerr having to find some leverage. Ford acts as scrum half. Hughes goes on again.
Release that played on.
It's a good play from Hughes. Allowed to go on because he released and had another go. Sinclair, the youngster. Kerr. Teo bouncing off the first tackle. That's good from Teo. That's an impact sub for you.
No release.
Another penalty
release.
here for England as Ford gets it onto Brown. Courtney Laws.
That's lost forward.
And as it goes forward, England get another penalty and it's closer in. Brown injured in the attack.
Courtney Laws is everywhere at the moment. Eddie Jones has done a great job with the Northampton second row.
What he said, I want to see you carry.
Yeah,
Like when he burst onto the international scene.
Body position so much lower. Look, he's going down and there. Brown's taken a real hit. Right arm of Haylett Petty, and it's interesting. England go for the 3 points. I've got to say, if Farrell's on the pitch, they have taken it every time today.
So, did you try to connect me before they kicked? Okay.
Possible late tackle here by number 14, Gold.
By number 14, Gold.
It could be worse here for Australia. Dane Haylett Petty. Late tackle being looked at here.
Time's out.
It's not a tackle, is it? It's a fractionally late hit, but it's a hit with the right shoulder. Boom.
It's a bit of a shot, isn't it?
It's a shot, yeah, it's a penalty. England already have the penalty, and yeah, that's slow motion. We need to see it real time, but it definitely is off the ball, and it ain't legal.
It's whether it's a card. That's the key decision here for the referee.
Okay. Okay, Fitzy, what I'm seeing is, just a moment, Fitzy, what I'm seeing is, clearly after the pass, 14 Gold has dropped his shoulder into this player.
That is correct.
And so my suggestion would be yellow card.
I agree based on the previous warning.
14 Gold.
So England already had the penalty. This is the key thing. Haylett Petty can't believe it.
One up in IMC.
I don't think Michael Checker can either.
Where's 14, please? Clearly after the pass, he dropped the shoulder into him. It's dangerous.
But the players know the directives at the moment. And Haylett Petty, the game is over for him.
So Fitzy, I'm going to stay with this penalty because it's more advantageous.
Well,
Penalty would have done well, wouldn't it?
makes it really difficult now for Australia. As Latu comes on, still shaking his head, can't quite believe he's gone for that. Moore has gone, so we've lost both captains, Hartley and Moore, replaced. George throws. Laws takes. It surely would have been 3 points, even though Farrell is not on the field. Ford must have been backing himself from there, but England have gone for more. The knockout blow, and they're not going to get it.
I'm not certain George Ford was backing himself from there, you know. His last 3 kicks at Twickenham have been horrendously struck. 2 against Fiji and that one. He really looks short.
That's it, unsuccessful maul, turnover ball.
Terribly short goal of confidence goal kicking. His distribution and his game management has been glorious, but his goal kicking is terrible.
5.
Charlie Ewell's coming on. George Cruz coming off. Cruz comes off, and I must say his partner, Courtney Lawes, has had a tremendous game, carrying, tackling, and Courtney Lawes has been a brilliant source of ball at the tail of the line-out.
Well then.
He's right back to his very, very best.
Stay there! Stay there!
Hold our weight. Crouch.
Australia still trapped here.
Fine.
Got to try and find a way out.
Set.
Frisbee to put in. And his test debut as a start in the first test in Brisbane in the summer. Australia get the scrum penalty. That'll help.
Got to stay square under pressure. Tight head angle.
Sinclair penalised.
Over there. Please, please, please. Right over there.
Good performance from George Cruz again. A lot of tackles, he worked really hard. Second rows have done excellent. Cruz and Lawes between them. That England pack, they get through the tackles, don't they?
Pocock, and Joseph is in again! And England will surely now finish the year unbeaten. It will be a run of victories to be admired for years to come. But this side in 2017 will be poised to act.
Australia forced to go for it. Pocock with the cut-out pass. It's not the forte in his game. And Joseph, it's that defensive ability to know when to come early. Sniffs it, right hand, controls that ball, and with that pace of his, no one's going to get anywhere near him. Folau forlorn, and Joseph through. England about to cap an incredible 2016.
Well, the only Six Nations team to go through an autumn international period since we went to the new structures in the World Game. France back in 2005 played 4-1 when it's been 4 matches. England had done 3 before, but never 4. And 4 does get his kick now. And with no pressure on shore. England 37, Australia 21. What a second half for England.
Stay there, 20.
Hughes. Don't forget Super Sunday tomorrow. Bournemouth, Liverpool live. Sky Sports 1, followed by Everton, Manchester United.
Play on.
Here with the oval ball. The egg chasers from England doing rather well.
Advantage. Yeah, here's the ball. Advantage for all feet. He's off his feet. No.
Another penalty.
He's supporting your weight.
A stream of second half penalties for England. Australia forced into losing their discipline.
Well, time for the old Mutual Wealth man of the match. Outstanding forward on the field, I think, has been Courtney Lawes. He's right back to his best. Jonathan Joseph has got a hat-trick. He made a try. He's been superb. But I felt that when England was struggling and they needed someone to steady the ship and then to ignite it, it was that man, Ben Youngs, Leicester scrum half, England scrum half. He is our old Mutual Wealth man of the match.
It will be 13 in a row under Eddie Jones, 14 for the nation. When you add in that match against Uruguay at the end of the World Cup. Kerr, Teo. Kerr again, little glance both ways to Marna Harrison.
Ball is lost forward, but goal.
Ford. Johnny May, crowd's going mad here. And May nearly in. Great commitment from the Wallabies, of course.
George Ford could just break your heart with that ability to throw those 20-metre passes. Johnny May, he straightened himself up, he gave himself every opportunity, but Henry Spate just levelled him. Great defence from Australia. But again, Ford's capacity to just find his winger with that fizzing pass, quite something. May goes for the line, and well played, Henry Spate. Brilliant defence, and look at the Australian cover.
Please, off the line's the middle. Move now. Back.
Frisbee, Pocock before his sabbatical. Wasn't meant to end like this, but he'll be back. Australia will be back. In the end, just not had enough for Ireland or England today at the end of this tour, at the end of their year. James Slipper. English line again. Quade Cooper takes them on, but Jamie George gets back. The aggressive defence has been so much better in this second period. Everything's been better from England. But they're in the faces now.
I think that the bench have come on, and all of them, people like George and Teo, have been very powerful, carrying and tackling. The last 20 minutes, Australia have just been driven backwards. It has been a deeply impressive 23-man effort.
Away.
Poor first 25 minutes, but the last 50 or so, outstanding.
And here's Ford maybe falling onto that. No, Pocock has it. It was England with the calamities at the start of the match. Nearly Australia there. Sean McMahon. What makes this so impressive from England is that they found the answers within the game. I don't know where they were in the first quarter of the match, but nor will they. But they've certainly arrived since then. And now the final minute of their victorious autumn.
Once again, England have answered the questions. They were rocking for a while. Australia were angry. They were up for it. They had England on the ropes at 10-0. But Ben Jens, with his box kicking and his ability to change the tempo. Guys in the studio saying before the game, a scrum half understands the tempo of a match. And Ben Jens, he took the heat out of it in the first half. He injected pace with that brilliant try in the second half, and that was the moment when the floodgates opened and Australia knew that England had this. They've got the match, they've got the year, and I think it's fair to say now, I've been sceptical because England's ability to win has been brilliant, but in the second half I think you've seen a quality of performance that says they now can start to think about competing with the All Blacks. New Zealand is still the world's #1. Yes, of course, they're the finest team I've seen. But this England team are moving very quickly in the right direction. Eddie Jones has had quite an exceptional year.
There we go. And now they have a walk up the fairway. Everything won. 25 required with all 10 wickets intact. It's one of those moments that these England players on the field and off it can really enjoy.
Fine.
And England missing their major men, really, certainly in the forwards in the summer. Itoje, Haskell and Vunipola. Everybody, of course, played their part on that tour, but headlines were being written by those men.
Hold the weights.
Mako Vunipola, part of that and part of this. Brother Billy, he'll be back too.
England just showing it's not about 15, it's not about 23, it's about having 35 players, and I think outside of New Zealand there's not a country in the world that doesn't envy the depth of England's talent.
Free kick, Hughes the new man replacing Vunipola, and what a part he's played today. England look to use muscle at the end, they're being held up. The crowd want to be greedy,
Turnover.
but that is it. It's victory over Australia again, 4 in the year. And England's year ends with a 100% winning record, and their record of wins in a row equals that English record. "14 in a row, 13 under their Australian coach, who has delivered a moment in English rugby history not seen since England's greatest days. The times of Sir Clive Woolwood, Martin Johnson, Johnny Wilkinson and all. What an autumn England have had. What a year they have had. And what a 2017 they have to look forward to.
Yeah, I think this is the second finest year in the history of English international rugby. 2003 would be that year with the World Cup and a Grand Slam. But when you think where England were in the doldrums after the World Cup, couldn't believe they were knocked out at pool stage, emergency reassessment of the situation, Jones came, and Jones has conjured not a miracle because he's used the same men, but he has shown what with brilliant management can be done. He has a squad now that is capable to go on and on and on and challenge the All Blacks. And from the Lions position with Warren Gatland here, he said he wants a strong England team. It's important heading for New Zealand. He's got that. Nathan Hughes there, tremendous starting game for him. England have cover for Vunipola. England have got most bases covered at the moment.
England emphatically took the Cook Cup in the summer. They retained the trophy. What an achievement to end the year unbeaten. But especially after a year ago when they were dumped out of their home World Cup, ironically by Australia. The Wallabies talked of redemption before today's game because of the summer series, but maybe all along it was destined to be England doing the redeeming in view of what happened at that World Cup. But Grand Slam, Cook Cup, unbeaten autumn, 2016, England's redemption year. So standing by to talk to us, Tom Wood and Jonathan Joseph are with Graham.
Miles, thank you very much indeed. Tom Wood, congratulations. One of the best half-times in English rugby history.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on for the first 20 minutes. All we talked about all week was a fast start and getting into them and putting some doubt in their mind and hoping they'd go on holiday early, and we did the opposite. We give them a massive lift. They came out all guns blazing, and we had to regroup at half-time, definitely.
How did you regroup? What did you do, Tom?
I still think we felt we were in the dressing room. We had a good few gears left in us. We hadn't quite woken up, and we just needed to get hold of the ball and get some field position and start asserting ourselves a bit.
To what extent does a team that's winning, like England is, keep winning because it's winning?
A little bit, yeah. It definitely breeds confidence. I noticed that as soon as I came into the camp, there was a real feel-good factor, a great buzz around the place, a self-belief that we perhaps didn't have in the past. So that's definitely counts for something. But I think it's just the hard work that's going on in the week and the relentless mindset of Eddie and the coaches.
Well done to you. Jonathan Joseph's alongside here. Love the kick through from Marlon Yard's try. Not as much as Marlon Yard probably did, I would imagine, but you have some knack of sniffing out tries. How much of those tries that you score like that are homework and just instinct at the time?
I think a lot of it is a case of what our defensive effort is, and Faz did a great option in getting off the line and kicking the ball through, and luckily that's my job. I have to be up with him, and it kicked up nicely for me.
You've ticked a lot of boxes with the win today in terms of statistics. Which will please the team the most, do you think, Jonathan?
I think we were disappointed with how we started, but the resilience we showed to bounce back. 20 minutes in, we really bounced back, and our set piece got on top, and we played flat and on the line onto them.
A year unbeaten. How special does that feel?
Yeah, it feels unbelievable. It's been a tough year, but the boys have worked massively hard. Well deserved. I think we've worked really hard, and the boys are really ready for a rest now.
Imagine Happy Christmas. Thank you very much. Tom, well done.
Thank you.
Thank you. Stephen, commiserations, 37-21. Is that a fair reflection of the way the game went, do you think?
Yeah, mate, the score is always a fair reflection, so they deserve the win, mate. They're a good side. You don't win that many games in a row without being a good team, so they played well again today, and that's the result.
As good as you were in the first 20 minutes today, will you go away and kick yourselves a bit about that first quarter, because perhaps there should have been more points on the board from a goal point of view?
Yeah, we dropped a fair bit of ball there. I think it was a bit of a reversal last week. We wanted to start well, but we didn't carry on the second half. So, yeah, that's the end of our season now. So we'll look back and take stock, and we'll learn a lot from this year. And guys have a bit of time off now and go again.
Was fatigue a factor today?
No.
Good luck to you. Thank you.